Now, your daily routine is going to be something which every entrepreneur or business person or company owner is going to have to deal with at some point or another. And there's lots of talk about this. So you may well have heard all sorts of different things, your miracle mornings, and I always start by meditating and all this sort of stuff. And, fair play to you. If that's what you do, then you go right ahead. I don't really have much time to meditate. I don't think I've even got the headspace to meditate, but I do try and exercise when I can, when it's not too cold, and I do go for a run. I've just started Pilates Reformer. God knows what that's going to do to me, but I'm trying to sort of stretch my body out, because again, if I am at my desk most of the time and I am running up and down stairs, that helps with the cardiovascular side of stuff, but it doesn't help with the stretching and the fitness side of stuff. And sadly, we're all getting older, not younger, so I have to think ahead. So exercise is one of the things that I do. Apart from that, it's anything goes. Seriously, my days are run in very different ways depending on what's happening on that day. If I generally just get up early. I'm quite an early bird, and you should be too. This is one of the other things that you'll probably have to realize when you are an interior designer, that the builders and everybody else that matter, particularly builders, but everybody gets up early, everybody starts early, and you're going to have to be starting early as well. So if the builder says the only time when I can do a meeting is at 7:30 in the morning, which means that you might have to get up at 5:30, travel for 1 hour from 6:30 to 7:30 and have that meeting, then that's what you've got to do. They're few and far between, but it does happen that way, and you need to be prepared for that. It's the same thing with deliveries. Sometimes things are coming in, well, it's due in, we've got a time scale of between 7 and 9. If the clients aren't there, then somebody has to be, and that generally might have to be you. Another thing I would say about getting up early, apart from meeting up with the builders and suppliers and delivery men, is that getting up early gives you the entire day to actually do some work. And I'm a bit of a workaholic, as some of you may well know, certainly those of you that have heard me on my audio podcasts. I sometimes work straight into the evening, and sometimes quite late as well, and usually generally weekends as well. I'm actually recording this here today on a Saturday. Why? Because I can, because I want to, and because I'm saving time. Why would I wait until Monday? So I would get up early, and I would work throughout the day. Take regular breaks away from your desk by all means, but work into the evenings, because 9 to 6, it's just really not enough for your normal day's work. And if you think that that's what it takes really in this day and age, just to be even a little bit productive, it's going to take a lot longer than working from 9 until 6, for example. Now, I also want to say a little bit, apart from exercise, I want to say a little bit about food and health in general. Now, I'm very lucky because I tend to not be ill, touch wood, very much at all. I usually have an annual cold and that's it. I'm never ill, I keep myself quite healthy, and that's because I have a very good healthy, fresh food diet. And that's not always the case when you're on site. When you are being run ragged from here to there, different hours, running up and down stairs, sorting out different problems, you often don't have time for food. I often don't have time for food. And so in the bottom of my bag, I'm always chastised for it. There's bound to be a chocolate bar sitting there waiting for me to give me that little bit of extra energy help that I will need. It's not good. And it's not clever, but it does sometimes get you through. So I would say, again, don't kill yourself over it, but recognise that you do need to eat well in order to do this job, because it can be a very physically demanding, stressful and mentally demanding job. So make sure you keep up with the eating fresh vegetables more than fruit. Make sure you eat enough. And make sure that you drink enough water, because you will get, as I said, dehydrated running about the streets where you live, in and out of properties and getting things done. Now, of course, in the middle of all of this are obviously there's technology which helps us all be productive on a daily day-to-day basis. So perhaps if you are doing your fitness regime, or you are traveling in to see a delivery or see a builder, you can be doing one of two things. You can either be writing, you can be emailing, which I do an awful lot of as I'm sort of traveling about London, or you can be listening to podcasts and actually learning and investing in yourself. It's all good stuff, but I think it does need to, you do need to address that time with yourself in order to make things better. Now, there is another element to productivity which I think really isn't spoken very much about, and that's music. Now, I am actually quite an advocate of music to get you motivated in order to get things done. And I think actually motivation and productivity work hand in hand, or at least they do for me. And I actually have playlists. This is how sad I am. I actually have playlists which are related to business and actually getting a move on and building a business and other different things. They've helped me in the past to actually get things done. And sometimes you need to be in a certain frame of mind to actually do certain jobs. So I would actually say categorically that music can help you, and maybe playlists could be the way to go. If you're not doing that already, maybe you are.